So yeah, please don't go into it thinking that they'll have the performance and optimization improvements, the weapon changes, hit stop improvements, and things like that. So please do keep that in mind. Tell your friends.
Yikes. Hey guys, Novel Bushida here. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing alright. And this was a video I was thinking of doing for a couple months, actually back last year. But I thought, you know what, there's not much to talk about it yet. Let's wait and see for more information later on. But then after seeing Jonah, and shout out to him, he's a great part of the community manager over at Capcom Europe. So he does a great job for the community. So give him all your respect and love. But when I heard that statement, it really made me think that even people at Capcom have realized that a lot of people still are hesitant around the game when it comes to the performance. And yes, we did get an update from Capcom back in the pre-community event update video where they told us that this game has a lot of performance fixes. They've done a lot to change the performance and even try to lower the boundaries on PC to get in to play the game for the minimum specs. And they even gave us some gameplay. They allowed us to see gameplay of what it would look like. They also said that beta 2 won't have any of the fixes, the performance fixes, anything like that in it. And when that happened, a lot of people on Twitter specifically were kind of worried. They were scared. And I was scared too, because there's a lot of people in the Monster Hunter community who don't follow up in the news as much as we do, right? Like me as a YouTuber, I'm following pretty much everything I can when it comes to Capcom and Monster Hunter. So I'm watching every video. I'm looking at their Twitter in the mornings, nights, whatever I can do. I'm in the loop. You guys who follow me or follow any other YouTuber, you're probably in the loop too, right? Because you've seen the videos, you've seen the Twitter posts, you've seen it. But there's a lot of people, a subsection, a massive section of the community who aren't like that. Maybe they go jump into the beta, they play the beta. Maybe they just see random posts on X or YouTube posts and they see people memeing about the graphics and the performance and so on. Even from people who aren't Monster Hunter fans, they just review gameplay and they review performance of games. Definitely since Monster Hunter Wilds is such a big game, it's a game that a lot of people are going to cover when it comes to performance. But the beta 2, the closest thing to the actual game that people are going to have to experience and all of the footage we're going to see from it isn't going to be an increase, an improvement from the previous version. Might leave a bad taste in people's mouth, in the casual's mouth, the casual people's mind, right? They're going to come to Wilds. The performance is bad in beta. The performance isn't going to be good in the real game because beta 2's come out and beta 2 doesn't look as good as I'd like it still. And us as fans, even though we're in the loop, we won't be able to judge it for ourselves, which is upsetting. And I'm thinking it might be a mistake on Capcom's side when it comes to trying to get people on their side, right? Trying to get people hyped up for Wilds. Definitely, like, I'm trying to harp on the casual side of the community because they're a large part of the community, right? They're a massive part of the community. Monster Hunter has grown since going from the older gens into 5th gen and now in the 6th gen. Even then, there's still a lot of people who aren't in the loop as much as we, and they're gonna see those first couple of screenshots, gameplay clips they've seen, and they're gonna judge the game solely on that. So I think Capcom might turn off a lot of people, definitely initially coming into the game and actually wanting to experience what the game has to deliver. So I think that's a mistake on that part. Now, when it comes to PC specifically, I know they said they're thinking about some type of benchmark tool. We haven't heard anything more on that, and I think that needs to happen. It 100% needs to happen for people who are playing on PC because they're even trying to reduce the spec range as well. And considering how bad the performance was in beta, giving people a chance to try out if their rig can handle the game correctly, if they need to get an upgrade, where they need to upgrade their rig to match up to the specs, it's necessary. I think it's necessary for this game. Obviously, it's going to take out more time of them developing the game, but I think in the long term, it's going to be worth their while, no pun intended, if you focus on that part of the situation, because Wilds is a big game and it's quite evident they want to show it to the world, they want the world to see it, and the first couple of demonstrations of the game looked dull. It didn't look that great. Even seeing it in the Drip Shots beta, it looked really dull. It did. The graphics didn't look good. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, it didn't look good. Obviously, it's a stream of a stream, but even then, it was very dull when it came to the colors. Now, when we played it ourselves, the colors were more vibrant. Apart from the clemency phase, I gotta say, the clemency phase does look really grey, is the best way to put it. Okay, it looks dull. The clemency phase looks dull, but I think it's all a part of the aesthetic of, you know, sandstorms and just, yeah, sandstorms, I guess. I don't know how else to put it.
I don't like sand.
But when it comes to the plenty phase, the game looks beautiful, it looks vibrant, it looks nice. And even for myself, I mean, I have a really strong rig here. I have a 7900 XTX, and I also have either i9 13900KF Intel processor. So I have pretty much the top of the range from 2 years ago, at least. Apart from the 4090, I didn't get 4090. They were way too expensive. I wasn't gonna ship out £2,000 on a 4090. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. If it was £1,700, I would have bought it. I would have picked it up, but scalpers, right? Anyway, even for me, performance was shocky. I struggled to get 60 frames at 4K, and when I tried to use frame generation, it would crash. It would crash constantly. Now, in the full game, obviously, I'm not expecting it to crash. If it does crash, you guys will know, because I'll let you know it'll crash. I'm just hoping that the performance on day one, because there's also a day one patch. All right, there's a day one patch. There's going to be a lot of reviewers coming to the game, and I'm hoping they give us the full experience that they experience, because what a lot of games have done in the past, like we have to talk about so much more, because this topic is so big, it's so huge. In other reviews in the past, what some reviewers have done, they've judged the game, not on the patch they're playing right now. They're going to wait, and they're going to see what the day one patch looks like. And then the day one patch comes, it doesn't work. The game doesn't work. And then all the reviewers have egg on their face saying what happened. I think Cyberpunk 2077 was one of the best examples of this. A lot of reviewers gave it good reviews because they thought when the game comes out, it's going to look great. The day one patch is going to fix everything. It's going to be fine. They used that as a guideline for their review. The game came out, it looked like trash. It looked like garbage. There were so many clips and compilations of bugs, glitches, graphical hiccups, everything. Broken crest, all this stuff. It was ridiculous. It was actually so atrocious. I could not believe what we were witnessing at that point in time. Man, it feels like a lifetime ago, but I think it was like 4 years now. I mean, now look at the game. The game's looking amazing. It's great. They did work on it, but it took like 4 years for them to get to the state where they should have been back then, right? And reviewers were to blame because they were judging that the day one patch would fix everything, and I don't want that to happen. I would like reviewers to tell us, yo, this is what the game looks like now. I'm telling you now how it plays, how it works. When the day one patch comes, I'm going to do a re-review on the patch to tell you how good the performance is. That's what needs to happen. I really hope people do that because I don't want people to go into this game seeing things get 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10s, all this, and then the game comes out, it has bad performance issues, and then people are upset. Everyone who bought the game, not everyone, there's going to be, of course, a good portion of people who bought the game thinking the performance is ready, and then it comes out and it's not ready, and they're disappointed. That's going to be so sad. It's not going to be good for consumers. It's going to break consumer loyalty and their trust in Capcom. So I'm hoping, I'm praying that that doesn't happen when it comes to this game. Previous Monster Hunter games have had issues. World on PC, it had so many issues. It was crazy. People forget how many issues that game had on launch. It was insane. It was really bad. It was getting downvoted like crazy. Rise on consoles specifically had a lot of issues. Definitely on launch, it did have issues as well. So Capcom do have a track record of having issues when it comes to the 5th gen of Monster Hunter, and this game is more expansive, and we show more issues in a beta than I think we've ever seen in any other beta in Monster Hunter history. So I'm hoping and I'm praying that Capcom get fixed for the game and reviewers are honest. Like, I want them to be honest. I don't have a review copy. Capcom's not going to give me a review copy. I will try to ask for one, I guess, and if I do, I hope I could be honest. I haven't reviewed anything in my life yet, so I don't know what the process is like, but you know, you've seen it. Some companies, they don't want you to be as honest about certain stuff, but I hope Capcom allow these reviewers to be as honest as possible. I think Ryukon, in his Rise review, he was very honest, and Sunbreak, he was very honest. So I think he's definitely a trustworthy person. He's so trustworthy, in fact. I remember he did the Baldur's Gate review, and that he got a lot of slack for that, like, a lot of slack. Even though I do agree with most of the stuff he was saying, I definitely do. But I am a Baldur's Gate fan. Baldur's Gate is great, and I actually can't wait for Divinity Sin 3 if that game ever comes out, because that would be amazing. Divinity Sin gameplay was miraculous. The spells are so great, but I always get off topic. I'm sorry guys, I just love to talk. What can I say? So I'm hoping overall what they represent to us and what reviewers are talking about is the truth and the matter of fact. All right, I don't want anything to be sugar-coated. If it's not running well, we need performance, we need benchmark performance from people, these tech people, from low rigs to high rigs. We need to know what it's going to run like on the lower rigs. So if you do have a low rig, you know, okay, maybe I'm going to hold off, build up some money so I can buy the new PC. Or maybe you can get a Series S. A Series S is really cheap. It's the cheapest way to play Wilds at, I mean, at least 30 frames per second, which is better than nothing. So then you can go down that route. You know, I would like that to happen, so people can be prepared for when the game comes, so they're not shocked or upset when the game comes and it doesn't work as well on their system. Lastly, I've also seen a lot of this in my own chats. I've seen a lot of people, even today, someone was saying, yo, this game looks awful. Let me actually see what he actually says. I'm gonna show it on screen right now. He says, God, this game looks so ugly. And I was just like, bro, damn, so blunt, so straight up. And even in other past videos, people talked about the optimization. They said, oh, the optimization needs to be better because the beta was trash. And I was like, I replied to them saying that they promised many fixes to come for the real release. They're not going to be beta 2, so prepare for that and just accept that for now. And then when it comes to the real game, hopefully people give us reviews on the performance, because even people in the sphere, they're still not sure. They don't have all the information. Like I said before, people just came and played the beta, they dipped out, maybe the performance wasn't good, and they never came back. They never really paid attention like that. Like, there's so many casuals like that, and I've seen it in my YouTube channel itself. So this is worrying. It's a worrying situation. I didn't plan on making this video until I saw that comment, because it just really exaggerates the situation to me that Capcom themselves feel like they need to also highlight to us to tell our friends. We need to do the marketing for them, which, I mean, sure, I'm not saying that's a bad thing for them to say. I'm just saying it highlights the situation even further through that type of dialogue. Now, lastly, what am I going to do about performance in this game? I already told you guys my rig. I'm going to put all my specs on my rig down in the comments, so you know how strong my PC is. I'm going to blast the graphic settings to the max, all right, to the max. In the background, you should be seeing my beta gameplay in the background right now, so you're going to see how it ran for me in the beta, all right? And it ran pretty smooth for the most part on PC. Apart from the crashing with frame generation, it just never worked for me, never. I think it worked once, and then after that, it just kept crashing again. I didn't understand what that was about. My drivers are up to date, everything was fine, it just crashed. But when the real game comes out, I'm gonna make sure you guys know how it runs, how it looks at high fidelity. I don't have a low fidelity rig. I do, but it's so old, the game wouldn't even run. So there's no point in me doing that comparison. But I will show you how it runs on a higher fidelity rig, so you guys can judge for yourself. You guys can see for yourself. And I'll be honest, I'm going to be straight up with you and tell you what the frame rate's like, what's lacking, what's good, what's not. Like 100%. 100%. That's what I'm going to do, because I feel like it's important for me to be honest when it comes to that stuff, because you guys are purchasing this game, you guys are putting down your money, and you need to know what your money's worth. Because I mean, we're living in a world where cost of living is going up, things get more expensive, and we only have so much money to spend on certain stuff. And if you're going to spend your money on a game that you feel doesn't have the performance for you right now, save your money. Save your money, come back in a while, and hopefully the performance is there for you to really enjoy the game. That's what I would like, because I think that's fine. You know, people have other priorities, right? They don't need to be disappointed. We don't need a No Man's Sky. We don't need a Cyberpunk 2077. We don't need any of that shit, all right? We don't, all right? We don't, ideally. So hopefully this is a home run straight out of the gate. I hope so. I don't know. We'll see. And when we get more information, I'll talk about it, because this is a topic I've mostly stayed away. I talked about a bit on Discord every now and then, and I promised them when the game comes, when we see graphics, I'm gonna talk about it. If it's not good, if the performance is garbage, I will rip into Capcom. I will do that, 100%. I will say this is unacceptable. It could not be like this. I didn't do it in the beta because it's a beta, of course. That's why I rarely ever talked about the graphics. I didn't even hint on it much. I only talked about really my experience in the beta and the grand scheme of people's opinions, but I didn't go too much into details of how it's going to be, because we didn't know. That was a beta from ages ago, from an old version of the game. And obviously it's not so easy to just patch in all your optimizations into another beta. Definitely when it comes to branching, I don't know how much I want to go into this. I am a software engineer. I don't do games development, but I do other developments. And when you're working on a piece of work, definitely across many different people, you have many different branches of the master work. A lot of the performance work, I imagine, is branched into the master branch of work. And to cherry pick those fixes out and then to put just on a specific dumbed down beta build is very difficult. It is going to be very difficult, definitely on a project of this scale. There are ways to do it, but I imagine if they did do it in a certain way where they keep all the performance fixes on a separate branch, it would be hard to apply it straight onto this branch without possibly introducing more things to get data mined, because they would have to possibly put in more information into the game around the performance changes they're making and fixes they're making, and that would just highlight to people more the information that's in the game itself. And I doubt they want to do that, so that's probably another reason why they didn't do that. But yeah, regardless of that, if the performance is not good on release, I will let you know. Day one, I'll make a video saying, Capcom, what is this? I'll actually title it, what is this? That will be the title, all right? Quote me on that in the comments right now, because that will happen. If the performance is good, I will praise Capcom. I'll be like, well, I don't know if I can praise Capcom, because it's what you expect, right? You expect the performance to be good. You're buying a game. You expect it. I don't expect my game to be broken. I don't expect my game to be half broken, so I don't know if I can praise them for good performance, but I will acknowledge the performance. I think that's the best thing I can say. I'll acknowledge that they did well on the performance. I won't praise it, I'll acknowledge it. But what I will praise is the artistical art style, the backgrounds, the drop shots, shadow, lighting, all the other stuff. I will highlight that stuff and praise that. But performance itself, I won't praise that, because I expect the game to run at 60 on PC anyway, with how expensive my rig is. It's kind of what you expect, right? That's like getting on a train and the train ending up on time at your destination. I mean, it's what you expect, right? Now, if it gets there early, they'd be like, oh, okay, that was cool, we got here early, nice. But you know, if it's on time, it's on time. It's what you expect. So yeah, Anyway, guys, I've been talking long enough on this topic. It's a big topic. What can I say? Let me know what you think down below. Like, subscribe, and yeah, just let me know your worries, your complaints. Am I overblowing the situation? Let me know down below. Are there any complaints from you guys? Do you have any worries or anything like that? Let me know down below. I want to know and hear from you guys as well. Anyway, that's it for me. I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.